friends, today's video is going to be another installment of
reacting to y'all's assumptions of me.
So I had people give me things that they assumed about
Moi.
on Instagram yesterday. I got some things that weren't even like assumptions, they were like questions, and I'm like, that's not what I asked for, but thank you. There were some that I've actually addressed before, so if I didn't answer yours, if I didn't react to yours, it's because it's already been included in one of these before. I think I've done 2 of these. I was feeling kind of bored on Instagram lately, and I was like, oh, let me just ask for y'all's just assumptions of me. These are in no particular order, but let's go.
You're 5'5".
No, actually. I'm 5'8.5", 5'9", depending on the day. But no, I'm not 5'5". Sometimes I assume people are taller than they are. One person that was way taller than I expected them to be, Grace Helbig, way taller than I thought she was gonna be. But no, I am 5'8.5", so not 5'5".
You prefer sour candy to chocolate.
No, actually, I am a chocolate
Fiend.
I do like my sour candy, but I would much rather like eat a chocolate bar, like chocolate and peanut butter or chocolate and caramel, chocolate and cinnamon, chocolate and white chocolate, chocolate and so many flavors, chocolate and coconut. Ooh, yeah, chocolate, coconut, and caramel. I mean, I like sour candy, but I like chocolate more.
You've never been boy crazy.
I'm glad that people think that I had self-control as a young person, but
Absolutely not.
there were definitely different phases of me being quote-unquote boy crazy, whether it was like high school, middle school, or like adulthood when I started going to see live bands and I thought that any conversation that I had with people at shows that meant that they were interested in me. So no, I've definitely been boy crazy, much to my dismay.
I feel like you were the kid that was so into music they shit-talked everything else.
That was also me. I definitely was much more of like a bitchy music snob back in my early 20s, late teens. I was definitely one of those kids in middle school that didn't want to go to school dances because the music was bad. Like literally I was that person. I was like,
This music all sucks. I don't want to listen to Lil Jon and Usher and
Lady Gaga wasn't even like a thing back in the day. Katy Perry. I graduated high school in 2007, so it's been quite a while since I've had to worry about school dances and the music at them. No, I definitely was that person. I was that bitch. I was that bitch. You got me there.
That you're bisexual or at least bi-curious.
I don't think I am. I think I'm pretty straight, but like I've definitely seen ladies when I'm like, yeah, I'd kiss your face. I've never had like feelings to where I felt not straight, you know? Which brings me to the next one. Someone said that I've never kissed another woman. I actually have. I've never like made out with another girl, another woman, but like I've definitely like kissed my friends, like platonic friendship kisses. These are the same friends that also have like very little boundaries when it comes to like human touch. People will just get in like cuddle piles on the couch. So yeah.
You dislike Biden as much as I do, but will probably still vote for him.
He definitely wasn't my first choice. He wasn't my second or my third or probably my 4th choice, to be frank. But I'm gonna fucking vote for him because there is no other option in getting the president out of office. Like what else is there to do? Like there's not anything else to do right now besides that to get our current fascist out of office. Once we do that, then we can really like tackle the Democratic establishment, because we definitely need to do that. That's definitely something that needs to happen. The order of operations right now is that we need to get more competent people in the cabinet, which includes the Secretary of Education, Secretary of State, Vice President, Secretary of Labor, Secretary of all these other things. We need to do all that. And right now, the biggest issue is to get Trump out. So yeah, this next one really made me laugh.
That you are full white.
Libby has done the 23andMe, or no, the Ancestry. I never did the Ancestry thing, but she did it. And we are, if I'm guesstimating that I'm also, like she is, 66% Norwegian. And then a lot of other European and Scandinavian. We got German, quite a bit of German, a little bit of Scottish, a little bit of Swedish, some like vague Central European that's listed on the Ancestry thing. So I would say, yeah, like mostly Scandinavian and German are like my roots, if you will. Next.
Tumblr shaped your personality as a young adult teen. and you miss it.
I was definitely not a teenager when Tumblr came out. Like I said, I graduated high school in 2007. So Tumblr was post that. So I'm actually glad I didn't get into Tumblr as a teenager because really all we had was like MySpace, and then like Facebook came along as I graduated. Tumblr, it got to its popularity when I was a little bit older than like its target demographic, because I remember I would be on Tumblr, there'd be a bunch of people on there, I would be like 24 and they'd be like 15, 16. I'm like, I feel weird following 15-year-olds on a social media website. I feel like I was a little bit past the age of where Tumblr was its peak popularity, which I'm glad. This person just goes,
Anti-religion.
I would call myself a agnostic personally. I am definitely anti big mega churches that basically just scam people and exploit people for money, and then they don't have to pay their taxes. People like the Austins, televangelists, big mega creepy churches like that. I am definitely anti that. All of that in general, but that's again kind of like the 1%, like eat the rich, but just of church.
You want to go vegan, but there are 1 or 2 foods that you just can't live without.
I definitely see the value in going vegan. I like more power and respect to people who do. But for me personally, I have tried doing vegan diets before and being vegan, and my body just didn't like it, didn't react to it well because of just might possibly be the fact that I'm 66% Scandinavian, and I need fish to survive. But I definitely don't drink milk very much at all. Like Libby and I sometimes will buy half and half when we are making pasta stuff. But also with my sister and my mother both being celiac, it makes it a lot more complicated to eat things that are even more restrictive on your diet because so many vegan options for things have gluten in them. Like one of the vegan alternatives to things is literally just wheat gluten. And so it's something that just isn't realistic for me. And because Libby lives with me, so like we need to have options because there's already so many restrictions with gluten.
You couldn't give less of a fuck. You will confront someone when something's bugging you.
I wish I was that way, but I'm not. I'm really not. I'm not somebody who likes confrontation. I feel like the only time I really do is when I'm at work because the guys I work with like know me to be that way because I sometimes have to be. In person, I'm not that way. On the internet, I will definitely be that way. If somebody is like replying to me on Twitter, or if somebody leaves a comment or comments on somebody else's thing and I feel like I need to stand up for it, I definitely will. Like virtually, I am this way. In person, if I had to confront somebody, it would be one of my worst nightmares because I hate doing it. So, yeah.
You cried during Bambi, Lion King, and Land Before Time.
Well, yeah, didn't most people? If you didn't cry during those things, who hurt you?
You are good at drawing or painting.
Well, thank you. But no, all of these things on my wall, I did not do any of them. That's why I chose photography as a creative hobby, because it's something where I can like see a thing and capture it and I don't have to like make anything from scratch with my hands. But no, I cannot draw or paint to save my life. I mean, I've never really tried like different kinds of painting, like abstract stuff, but when it comes to like drawing things that, I don't know, are supposed to be things, I'm very bad at it.
Gonna drink your coffee black like a true queen.
No, I'm sorry. I am not a true queen in that instance. I need my cream thing, liquid, and sugar. I cannot do just straight black coffee. I can do like cold brew straight sometimes, but regular, just like drip coffee, no, not a fan.
That you don't have many, if any, regrets.
Oh, I am not that perfect. I'm not that perfect at all. What? While I have regrets, I feel like a lot of the choices that I've made over the years, while in hindsight made me kind of cringe, also made me the person that I am now. So it's like, yeah, it felt weird and it feels weird thinking back on those times and those things and those actions. But I also know that like if I hadn't have done those things, what kind of person would I be now? It's like I regret the way I felt at the time, but I don't regret the way they affected my life, if that makes sense. So yeah, no, I have regrets for sure.
That you don't want YouTube to be your full-time job, but would like photography to be.
YouTube, I definitely don't want it to be my full-time because I feel like that's scary and unstable. I feel like if I ever got to the level of success, I mean, I don't believe I'll ever get to the level of success as like Christine, Simply Nailogical, but I really respect the way that she goes about being a content creator because she manages to make so much money and manages to have such a large audience with her content, but she still like holds down a regular job, and so it makes it so that she can actually use her platform, and she does she pays people's tuitions, like does like a tuition giveaway every year, and that's fantastic. That's amazing. So I really like that she pushes the value of education and pushes the value of keeping some sort of normalcy, because I think the problem with so many, especially young people these days who really get into content creation at such a young age, they don't really have the life experience in other areas to have like empathy for other people. And that's, I think, what we're seeing a lot with a lot of these like TikTokers and young YouTubers. Don't have a lot of respect for servers, don't have a lot of patience for things, treat people poorly because they never worked retail or they never worked as a server in the service industry. Yeah, I would not want YouTube to be my full-time job because of the instability. And it wouldn't make it as fun. But I also don't know if I would want photography to be my full-time either. Like, I would like to have photography be a part of that. But again, it's something that I really, really enjoy doing. And I feel like if I did it every day as my job, it would make it not as fun. And photography is, again, such a unstable thing. Like, if I were to be a freelance photographer, I would really have to be like hustling all the time, depending on myself, and it would be kind of daunting and scary having to worry about like my own health insurance and like taxes and all that stuff. At least with like having a day job that I go to 9 to 5, I don't have to do much of that. I just get like a W-2 and then I turn it into my aunt who's an accountant. This was a weird one.
If you give it the chance, you would be into Mumford & Sons, Lamau.
I've seen Mumford & Sons live and I like them. I haven't listened to them in a long time, but like I never really was anti Mumford & Sons. I feel like I got like sick of their songs after a while, and like everybody else tried to be them. I like them. Like, I saw them at Sasquatch back in 2014, I think. 2014, 2013. But yeah, no, I like them. I don't know why you thought I didn't, but that's funny. Anyway.
You love Ghost World.
Oh, I haven't seen that movie in so long. Ugh, but I do love it. I do love that movie. It's so weird. I've never read the comics. I've never read the graphic novel, but I'm not much of a graphic novel person myself, but I do love the movie.
You vibe with both cats and dogs. Also, you're hella cool.
Thank you, by the way. I would say that I vibe with both cats and dogs for sure. Cats, I feel like, are a bit more like specific, like not all cats, but almost all dogs I am cool with. I'm allergic to cats, unfortunately. There's only so much vibing with cats that I can do before I get sneezy. Dogs, I will go to the ends of the earth for a good doggo. But no, I definitely like dogs and cats. I'm not like a cat hater. I'm just a dog person. But Libby and I have gone walking a couple times in the last week, and both times there was like a cat on the street that just like walked right up to us. I feel like both of us are just very good with pets, just good with animals. They read that we're cool with them, and so animals will just be like,
Hey, you seem like a nice person.
You live alone, but plan to move in with your boyfriend.
quite a new subscribers, so I don't really know. I do not live alone. I live with my sister. We've lived together for, it'll be 2 years, technically 2 years in like January, but I do plan on moving in with Josh. We plan on moving in with each other probably in the next, hopefully 10 months or so, but obviously coronavirus threw a wrench into that plan, so who knows? Are you chiming in?
I'll chime it in.
I was just answering the question that you live alone but plan to move in with your boyfriend? Don't.
Not even one time.
Do you want to see what the next one is?
Sure.
Do you want to read it?
Okay. You use a menstrual cup, a natural deodorant, and or Chemex for coffee.
You got one right.
One of those. She's not gonna say which one.
No, I will.
Just kidding.
No,
It's the stuff that goes under here.
Yes, I use a natural deodorant. Yeah, that's it. I haven't used an aluminum-based deodorant in years, actually. Maybe close to a decade.
Okay. I'm gonna go play games.
Okay, have fun playing World of Warcraft.
Okay.
So yeah, I do use a natural deodorant, but I don't use a menstrual cup or a Chemex. Lately I've been using instant espresso, so don't judge me. Similar to vegans, all the respect and the power to people who use menstrual cups, I can't do it. I also have like an experience with a previous roommate who left theirs on the counter for like 2 days. It had been cleaned, but it was still just sitting out there on the kitchen counter. So that kind of turned me off of all of it for the time being.
You like horror films.
Yes, I love horror films. I don't see them very much because he doesn't like them, but no, I like horror movies. I love scary movies and like just spooky things. I love them all. Not all of them. I mean, there's definitely horror films that I don't like, but in general, I do. I like scary things.
You don't drink coffee.
Where would you get that idea? Honestly, I don't know why anybody would assume that I don't drink coffee. I drink too much coffee.
You don't like kids.
I like kids. I definitely enjoy children. I like hanging out with, like, at family gatherings and stuff. Like, having kids around is always fun. I feel like I'm good with kids. I just don't want to birth one out of my person.
You and Libby were quite competitive growing up.
Actually, we weren't, because we were into very different things. I was a Girl Scout, and I eventually joined the newspaper. I played basketball for like 2 years in middle school, but she was always way more into sports, and then I joined band. So yeah, I was the nerd and she was the jock. So we weren't really competitive because we were just like into different things. This one really...
You're actually really clean and organized.
I would say I'm neither. I'm not horribly messy or horribly disorganized. I'm like cluttered and organized. Like there's a lot of stuff and it's kind of cluttered, but I know where everything is usually. Thank you for assuming that I'm clean and organized because the way that my background looks, but actually my room is quite clean right now, but normally my room is a mess and then my bed is just like the nicest part of my room. This one, you really got me.
You get frustrated that your other content isn't as popular as your anti-hauls.
How did you read me so well? Because that is 100% correct. Yeah, it's annoying as shit. It's annoying as hell when I'll put in like the same amount of work for things and then it's just like, oh, well, 4,000 views, cool. And then like I'll do an anti-haul and it gets like 40,000 views and then like a week later people are like,
Oh my god, we need more anti-hauls.
and I was like, I literally uploaded one last week. It's like people don't know how to look into your back catalog to know what you've uploaded recently. That's a pet peeve of mine. But yes, no, I definitely get annoyed that my other content isn't as popular as my anti-hauls because sometimes I feel like I've pigeonholed myself.
You would help a short girl get to the front of a concert stage, yet yell at the fuckboys for trying.
Abso-fucking-lutely. I have a good friend who used to shoot photography, used to shoot live music, and she's like 5 feet tall. And I would always just like wonder like how in the world she would get up to the front. Like one of my best friends is like 5'3". I don't know. Whenever I see like tall dudes in the front of a show, it annoys the hell out of me. Not just because like I'm a photographer and I want to get good shots, but also I'll see people behind them that are like sometimes a whole ass foot shorter. And I'm like, dudes, you can see over their heads. Just move.
You don't drink enough water.
Oh, I drink so much water. I drink so much fizzy water and other water, non-fizzy water. I drink so much water.
I stay so hydrated.
I also have like dry skin, so I feel like I kind of have to. But yes, I am a hydrated beach.
You enjoy watching more non-makeup YouTube videos than makeup ones.
Lately, yes. The thing is, I usually will watch YouTube to, I don't know, something about like having shared frustration. So like I'll watch commentary videos, whether people are angry or not. Hannah's video about Tana Mojo yesterday for me filming this, I felt all the same way and I was like, yes, thank you. Like I can kind of like in my head just like cheer on and be like,
I also agree with that thing. I'm also mad about that thing.
or I want to laugh at things. So lately I feel like makeup stuff has gotten a little stale, which is why I've been trying to think of like other kinds of content to make, because it's like I like making it, but I also realize as a consumer myself, I haven't been watching a lot of it, so I have a feeling that that's similar for a lot of people. But lately, most of the stuff that I've been watching has been commentary stuff or ASMR content, to be frank. So yeah.
I assume you don't enjoy wearing dresses or heels. You feel like a jeans, sneaks, and tees gal.
I think I'm all of the things. I definitely don't like wearing heels, just like straight up heels. I wear platforms regularly. I have like these big gothy cyberpunk boots, cyber goth boots that I'm obsessed with. But when it comes to just like straight up high heels, I'm not a huge fan. But dresses, I love dresses. I love dresses. I love skirts. I love pants. I'm a lot more into dresses and skirts than I used to be because I got thicker thighs than I used to. So it's easier to fit them than pants. But I wear a lot of t-shirts, like t-shirts, crop tops.
I assume your apartment smells like witch 24/7.
I don't know what that means. Lately, I haven't really been burning anything because it's been so damn hot. When I do burn a candle, there's some sort of like spice involved, or a patchouli, or a lavender somewhere, or like a cedar wood. Right now, I feel like not so much because it's hot, but in the wintertime, Yes. And then last but not least, I wanted to leave this one for last because I feel like it was a really nice one and it was like I could talk about it a little bit.
You used to be a pushover, but you learned how to fight and stand up for yourself. Love you, kissy winky face.
Yes, you are correct in that. I used to definitely be I'm still pretty non-confrontational, but back before college, I was very non-confrontational. I did not like starting things with people. I did not fighting with people. Like I said, Libby and I always got along, so that we didn't really have a lot of practice in like fighting with people. So I never liked to start things. My mom is also the person that was always very like diplomatic, and she didn't like to start things with people either. And so that just like rubbed off on me and my sister. I definitely used to be far more of a like kind of like bury them deep down and don't worry about them and just let it slide and let other people walk all over me. But then college happened, and I feel like I've told this story before, but there was a time when my roommate just like crossed the line and really upset me. And then my sister came back with me, and then we yelled at her, and then it was a whole thing. And now I don't talk to that girl anymore. So like, it was honestly seeing Libby stand up for me in college that really got me to not be such a pushover, because I'm like, I don't want to have my little sister stand up for me for the rest of my life. And getting jobs that made me be that way, being on my college newspaper, having to deal with like trolls on the internet, like being on YouTube for so long, having to deal with people just like saying mean things. Like, I don't let it get to me anymore, but there was a while where I'm just like, I want to like fight people about this shit. With YouTube, I became a lot more confident in my own voice and in my own opinion, and it made me a lot better at like talking to people. It made me a lot better at getting my point across, communicating with people, because I was doing it with my camera for so long, and I have been for 10 years. I definitely am much more strong now when it comes to standing up for myself and when it comes to standing up for other people. So yeah, I definitely used to be much more of a pushover and less outgoing, and now I am not those things. I am more outgoing. I stand up for myself. I learned how to fight, not physically, though sometimes lately I wish I have. There's definitely a handful of people that I can fantasize about getting in a fist fight with. Girl can dream. A girl can dream. So those were all the assumptions. Thank you all for leaving generally very nice ones. There were a couple where it was just like either a question or I've talked about it before, so I didn't address it. So for today's song of the day, let's see. Ooh, actually, today's song of the day is The Beginning of the End by Weezer, and it is actually from the new Bill and Ted's soundtrack, Bill and Ted's Face the Music. I think that's what it's called. I heard this song probably close to a month ago. A friend of mine shared it on Facebook, and he was like,
Wait,
Weezer has a good song out? What? No shade to other Weezer fans or other Weezer records, but like this song, it's like really good. But this is a really fun song, and I highly recommend it. So that is your song of the day. The playlist to song of the day, I have a song of the day playlist, YouTube playlist, that will also be in the description down below. That has close to 200 songs on it now that I've gone back, put on a YouTube playlist. Check out the whole playlist if you've been really wanting one place where I keep all my songs of the day. That's where it is. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That would be fantastic. If you'd like to see more of my content, please subscribe. That'd be super cool and funky fresh and groovy and not bogus. Thanks so much to my patrons. As always, I appreciate y'all very, very much. Y'all are fantastic. Please go check out the links in my description. I do have a link to register to vote if you are in the United States. I have a link to bail funds and news and information about the Black Lives Matter protests going on in various cities. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed today's video, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!